I just heard from my wife that my sister-in-law bought a spec house in a city in our area, and I shuddered. Now, why do I shudder? Well, we're sitting at the site of the asymmetric house where we're building this incredible passive house project. It's going to be fire resilient and smoke resilient. It's going to be super efficient, super quiet, and really, really comfortable for decades and decades. And behind me is a spec house. This is by a developer that's building a bunch of these houses in the background. Now, why do I cringe when I think about spec houses? Well, firstly, you can see behind me that they have the windows in the walls, but there's no air sealing anywhere on the outside of this house. Now, we know from the fires in LA that air sealing is a major culprit when we think about fire resiliency. Firstly, you can see above these walls, all of these little holes in the tops of the walls. Those holes are called vents, and those vents allow fire embers into the attic of that house, and it'll start the whole house on fire. It also lets smoke into that house, which means that the people, even if there's no fire around here and the sky is orange like it has been many times, this house is going to be completely unlivable because it's going to be filled with smoke. How do we avoid that? Well, we avoid that by building what are called unvented attic assemblies. Attics that don't have vents. They are entirely part of the conditioned space. There is no required ventilation because we're designing them to be better. They don't have any potential for ember infiltration, which means that a fire cannot get started in those houses. They will also be smoke tight, which means that the homeowners can be living in that house with fresh air brought in by the HRVs, filtered by the HRV as well as secondary filtration systems, and totally comfortable if the fire is way far away, but we have a ton of smoke. This is not only relevant in California, it's relevant in the Northeast, where we saw last year tons and tons of smoke caused by Canadian forest fires. This is the way we should be building, not this way. This is a dumb way to build, and it's the worst possible way that we can build by the code. The code doesn't care about smoke resiliency. The code doesn't care about your house starting on fire. Building code doesn't require us to build this way, but it's really easy for us to change a house like that into a house like this. And this house will be around long after that house is gone and those clients have gotten diseases or sickness from smoke. This is a better way to build. If you're interested in learning more about building science or building a better way, hit subscribe as we show you how to build a better way.